Even if it's late at night, I'm still going to read you Zippers. Gosh, darn it. Gosh. So we're at the very end of chapter 14, and Zippers just kind of embarrassed Jacob and Conan O'Brien by not wanting to play silly games with Triumph the Insult Dog. So, okay. Thanks to your mother for having you triumph through and during the last seconds of the broadcast. The biatch. Remember that? Okay. As the band started up and their microphones were slowly turned down, a riled Robert Smigel could barely be heard during the fade-out. Jesus fucking Christ, talk about a talking wet blanket. Meanwhile, Jacob was sweating bullets. When Zippers returned, he asked, Are they going to edit that last part out? Why the hell did he get so serious all of a sudden? It's Conan. I'm not sure, Jacob, said Zippers as he walked over to his best friend. Maybe it's like Ecclesiastes. There's a time and season for everything. This is not the time for jokes. Jacob stared down on his beloved best friend. They don't say you guys have 9 lives for nothing, I guess. Zippers continued. Maybe before we have this legal fight as to who gets to decide who can use your chemicals, we just woke up some more future allies. Who knows? Oh, Zip, come here. Zippers jumped up onto Jacob's nervous lap. It's too bad, too, said Zippers as he rubbed his head against Jacob's face, trying to comfort him. I had some legalized catnip marijuana jokes planned. I don't suppose Conan would give me an autograph before we leave, Jacob muttered as he grabbed his jacket from underneath the now dead monitor. That's the end of chapter 14. And we'll continue with chapter 15. The morning of the preliminary, Herschel, Pepper, Jacob, and Zippers were at Pepper's apartment for last-minute coaching from Herschel. The preliminary was at 8 p.m. at the airport courthouse on South La Cienega in Los Angeles. Since the case had made national news twice over by this time, the Burbank courthouse was set aside in favor of L.A. nearer the large airport for better handling of the media. So we're going to plead not guilty, and then we'll take it from there. Essentially, you'll be admitting the truth, but the truth will be heard from your point of view, children. You were simply stealing back what was once yours. Despite the contracts? Asked Pepper. That's the tricky part, said Herschel. But again, thanks to Zippers with Brian Williams and now Conan, this is hopefully going to go beyond standard corporate protocol. We're going to call in animal rights organizations to muster a call only we can. Annex Systems can't claim to be the ones who broke the code in any of this. They may have a chance with Merrill's sister, but for them, that'll be easier to defend. We've got Zippers, and he'll defend himself. When will this end? Asked the cat, laying his head between his paws, looking up at everybody. When we win, Zippers, answered Herschel with a deep sigh. Then I'm gonna buy you the biggest cat-scratching house you've ever seen. Herschel, I can talk now. You'll buy me and Jacob the biggest housing house we've ever seen. The judge, Judge Alicia L. Hook, was now ready to proceed. Okay, order. Mr. Jacobsfeld, Ms. Elise Tarpon, you've both been accused of 4th-degree felony, breaking and entering with charges which carry a maximum sentence of 18 months and a $5,000 fine. You both are being accused for criminal damages to property as well, with misdemeanor charges, which entails a maximum sentence of 6 months and an $800 fine. The victim is your former place of employment, I understand. Annex Systems. The court assumes you're prepared to enter a plea at this time? Yes, Your Honor, my clients wish to enter a plea of not guilty, answered Herschel, who was smartly dressed in a brand new suit ensemble he purchased on his city card that week. The court accepts and enters the defendant's plea of not guilty. Now to the issue of bond. Neither of you have any priors, no outstanding warrants. And since this case also involves the public's awareness of your talking cat, we see no reason to set your bond until the actual hearing for $50. Thank you, Your Honor, said Herschel. We shall see you next Tuesday then, 9 a.m. sharp. Following week, everybody piled into Pepper's car, Zippers being held by Jacob. He had a loosely fitted harness in case any crazy person might try to snatch the famous cat from within the crowds and the media folk. Now remember, kids, you're innocent until the state finds that you are not. And that won't happen if I can stop them from even getting near that kind of a mark, said Herschel from the back seat. You make it sound like we are guilty, said Zippers from Jacob's lap in the passengers. You are, actually. Well, Jacob and Pepper are, of course. You're going to be admitting the felony charges, but with a code of conduct countersuit. We're going to push right back at them what they did to your master. I told you, I'm not a slave, said Zippers. I'm sorry, darling. As an African-American gay man, really, I am. This is part of what we're all going to learn in this trial if I don't trip up too badly. We're up against ignorance. Human ignorance. You won't trip up, cuz. I don't care if this is your first case. You're going to blow this company out of the cesspool, said Pepper as she pulled her Toyota wagon into traffic. Hey, you got that tape of Merrill? Asked Jacob as they blended into the LA freeway. Yep, right here in my satchel. They may or may not allow us to play it. I know. The Corolla wagon was soon enough pulling into the airport courthouse parking lot. The war of words and perspectives was about to commence in the judicial system. That was a short chapter. That's the end of chapter 15. So usually I make these 10 minutes long, but that's a good place to close for now since it's the end of a chapter. Thank you. You can get the book at GulleroodBooks.com or just go to Amazon and go under books and type in my last name. You'll find it. Hope you're enjoying these readings. It does encourage me if I get 2 or 3 hearts and a comment or two. And thanks again. Good night.